This video is made by a former women of God, men of God puppet. Okay, so if you want to see the change in your life, then you're gonna listen to me and you're gonna take the steps that I'm gonna tell you to do. If you don't want to listen to me and you still want to go about your life, serve at church or do whatever you want and still not feel fulfilled and still be sad and still feel powerless and worthless, then you can skip this video. A lot of the things that happen with children of God, and especially the ones that are serving, is that they see their value being how they are being rewarded by the man of or the woman of God that they are serving with. When you're serving at church, you are actually helping the vision of the man of God, of the woman of God. So many times what happens is that you want to give yourself so much to be rewarded, or especially in the churches, there are too much in the spirit. It's like the spirit is everything and the soul is nothing. Especially in those churches, you will see that happen a lot, that the servants of the church, they are giving them all and they are really trying to do their best to make the vision move forward, but in that process of doing that, they are losing their identity, they are losing themselves, they are losing their essence in life. And what happens is that many of these people, these women, these men, they are losing their confidence, because when they are in the church, they see how things happen. What I have found to be true is that many people lose their confidence when they get in the church, because they see that they are different, they see that they don't have the same gifts of the spirit, they see that they are not loved by the woman of God, by the leaders the same way. It's a lot of things. But now this video is to give you back your power. It's to give you back your confidence. Because many times the people that are different are actually the ones that God chooses. David was not even looked upon by his father, yet he was the one that was chosen. It's always the loner. It's always the different one. It's always the marginalized one that God chooses, because he knows that these people are the ones that are the most malleable. They are the ones that are the most ready to give themselves to him, to be of no reputation. He knows that he can work with them much more easily. If I just look at the way I was when I was pouring my all in ministry to make the vision of the leader of that ministry to move forward, I completely lost myself. I lost good habits. I lost some of my personality trait. My character was not forged the way it was supposed to. My brain stopped working. My confidence went down. Listen, I can go on and on. I became a whole other person to make sure that everything was moving forward. But the reality is that if God is not the one to push something forward, there's nothing you can do to do it. And in my quest of doing that, I was trying to be someone that I am not. I was trying to be like people that I am not. I wasn't myself anymore. And when eventually everything stopped, the ministry dissolved, God was showing me everything that happened to me during those years, and he opened my eyes to be able to have a different type of journey, because I was always the woman to want to be better, even when I was in that ministry and all, but I wasn't able to fully understand what I wanted and to put in the actions that were actually gonna get me to the desired result. So when everything dissolved and that God opened my eyes, I realized how I had lost myself because I was trying to be someone that I am not called to be. When you are around men of God, women of God, the prophecies that you're receiving, it's always gonna be the same. Because people, they all want to be the same. They don't like when things are not the same as what they are used to see. And there's a lot of prophecies that I received, a lot of words that I received that were not wrong, but the delivery of these messages were wrong. And because of that, I lost myself and I lost my confidence, because every time that God would work with me a certain way and that it was not the way that they wanted me to be and to operate, then I would have a conflict and I would be splitted and I would not be confident in myself. But when you're not confident in yourself, in what God is telling you, you are telling God that you are not confident in Him. And this message is for a lady, for a gentleman, for a fine babe that is going through that. You feel like you know, and I believe that you know. You know what God wants from you. You know how great you are. You know the type of gifts that you have. But because the administration is different, then you feel bad. You don't have confidence in you. You don't know if you're gonna be cheered up. You don't know if people are going to back you up. You think about a lot of things that are irrelevant, because the only relevant thing is for God to back you up. If God is saying that you are a prophetess, if God says that you are a prophet, if God says that you are the apostle of your family, you have to know that the administration can be different. You don't have to be the biggest seer. You don't have to be the biggest apostle or whatever. Prophetess Deborah was a poet, but you know what? When she spoke, it happened. Barak couldn't go to war without her. She told him to go and he refused. He said, unless you go with me, I will not go. But we don't see the prophetess Deborah prophesy more than that, more than her telling Barak to go because God is with them, and then afterwards, because you don't want to listen to my command, then I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. The outcome is gonna be that yes, you're gonna have victory, and it's not gonna be by you, it's gonna be by a woman. She was offended. She was offended, rightfully so. She was. Other than that, we don't see her prophesy. We see her singing, we see her being inspired, we see her being in her femininity, and then we see that moment of the powerful, authoritative woman of God. But today, if we say that you're a prophetess, you're gonna bring many to God, you already have that thought that you have to preach, that you have to prophesy. That no, if you just say one word, if the person takes heed, she is saved. If the person doesn't, she is destroyed. So you need to be confident in who you are. You need to stop looking at what people have to say. You need to stop doing things to get rewarded by men. Men will never reward you. If men are rewarding you, it means that they can bring you down. Never try to be lifted or admired by men. Do what you have to do in the sight of God, because it will eventually bring admiration. Because when God chooses you, it is for His glory to be manifested. But for His glory to be manifested, He needs to glorify someone. He has to glorify you. But you cannot be glorified if every time that God is telling you something, you second guess it, because your administration of things is different from what people are used to. If they are saying that your wisdom is beyond imagination, don't try to be like King Solomon. Do what you have to do in the field that you are in. God is a God of strategy. He's not stupid. He knows what He's doing. He knows what He's saying. So when He's saying things about you, when He is giving you an assignment, He knows how He's gonna make it happen. You just have to follow through the plan. And many times it's like when we are caught up into that place in which we cannot do the things that we know our heart is longing for us to do, or that our spirit is telling us to do, it's like we completely lose ourselves and we lose our sight. We remove our gaze from what matters. Sometimes we're here and we're like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this, you know what, I'm gonna do that, you know what, I'm gonna, like, you have all these ideas that are not even pushing you forward in the assignment that God is giving you. And you're here, you do a lot of things and you don't understand why things are not moving. But that's because you're out of line. You're out of your assignment. It's not working. You cannot, especially when you are a child of God, when you are a daughter of God, when you are a son of God, you cannot try to do things your way and think that everything is gonna come through. It's not happening like that. Submit yourself to the will of God. And this is even how you can weight the motives of your heart. You know what? I'm gonna put a link in the description box, and it's gonna be a heart motivation checklist. You have to weight your heart. You have to know why you are doing things. You have to know the motivation, the real one, not the one that you pretend, the real one. You need to know, what is the motivation of my heart behind everything that I want to do. Is it because I want to be rewarded by man? Is it because I want to be loved, accepted? Why is it that I want to be that woman? Why is it that I want to be that man? Why is it that I want to give that service, that I want to do this or that? Why is it that I want to serve God this way or that way? What is going on in my heart? This is how you will know if the venture that you're going to get into is actually going to be fulfilled, is going to be successful, or if it's going to be a flop and be destroyed by God. God is a jealous God, and He doesn't like when we don't follow the plans. Actually, He's the Almighty God. He does whatever He wants, but He has given us free will, and we need to get to this place where we accept to be used for His glory. And we need to become those women and those men to just leave everything that men try to put in our mind, leave them where they belong, which is not in our heart. You just have to be free of everything that men can present to you and accept everything that God can give you. This right here will build your confidence, will protect your confidence, because when you will see that you will follow through the plans of God and that you will see the success happening back to back, there will be no reason for you to think that you are not worthy, that you're not able, that you're not that girl. Because you submitted yourself to God. You've allowed Him to do what He wanted to do with your life, the way He wanted you to do it, and you will see the fruits of it. And when you see the fruits of something, you understand that you are on the right path, and your energy is boosted, your faith is boosted, your confidence is boosted. And in this life, you must have confidence in God, but you also have to have confidence in yourself. If you don't have confidence in yourself, God cannot use you. If you're not confident in yourself, you cannot be fulfilled. If you are not confident in yourself, you cannot see the manifestation of all the promises of God in your life. You have to stop looking at other people. You need to look at what's inside of you, what God is putting in your heart to do, and go after it. If you know that you have to change, if you know that you have a hard times with people's opinions in your life, with doing what you know you have to do, with thinking highly of yourself, I encourage you to visit my website and book your session with me, because I have been through that. I have been through all the challenges. I've been through all that people's pleasing. I've been hurt. And not just by church, even before I gave my life to Christ, before I got to know who Christ is, His love for me, before I completely yielded myself to Him, I was also another person with a lot of baggage. And with the contrast of my worldly experience and my Christian experience. I can tell you the road to becoming the woman or the man that God truly wants you to be, fully healed, fully confident, fully unbothered about what people have to say, it takes time. But when you are mentored, when you are coached, you don't have to go through all of that. I was mentored, I was coached. There was a long way to go, but there are some parts that were cut off because I sought help. And now I am the one that is able to help you, because God is not gonna give you everything. God is not gonna give you the blueprint to everything. He has made you in His likeness. He has given you a head, not for nothing, and you have an intelligence, but you need to work it. You need to increase your wisdom. You need to increase your confidence in yourself to believe in what your spirit is receiving. So if you need help, visit my website, go in the service section. But for now, I'm gonna put in the description box the link to the heart motivation checklist. You have to go through this every day. Every time that you want to do something, you want to go on a venture, you want to do business, anything that your heart desires, you need to weigh it, and you need to know why you are doing this. So get yourself that checklist and keep it dear to your heart. Have it pinned on your wall in your bedroom. Just make sure that you always have it with you, because it's gonna help you to heal, to grow, and to understand yourself better. So like the video, share with someone who needs it, comment something, and if it's not done already, subscribe to this channel to do the inner work, to blossom, to become all that God created you to be. I will see you in the next video. Bye.